What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Wake up with me. It's your man, Trayvon Pratt with AIM, always improving the mind. Here we are again on a beautiful, beautiful Monday morning. I always start my mornings off saying, thank you, God, for waking me on this beautiful, blessed morning. And a beautiful one it is, man. I woke up at ease. I woke up at peace this morning with myself, with all of what I'm doing, what I strive for, and what I'm looking forward to getting out of the day. First and foremost, it's the best month of the year, August. And in August, something very special happens. And it's happening this week. My born day. It is my birthday this week. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a round of applause. Big old Leo. Happy birthday to all of you Leos. It's Leo season. All my brothers and sisters out there who are celebrating another year around the sun. Shout out to you all. And I'm right with you this morning. All right. Let's start the day off as wonderful. As wonderful as that. How y'all doing, man? Put it in the chat. Let me know how y'all doing. What's the word today? Where you at mentally? You know, you can give me a 1 through 10 scale. I got this from one of my other guests, Dev. Man, I gotta holler at you, man. I ain't seen you in a minute. One of my other guests, Dev, he used to do this. Let's do a mental health check. Where you at this morning on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the best, 1 being the lowest. Where you at this morning? Just put it in the chat. Give me a 1 through 10. How you feeling? All right. All right. And while y'all doing that, let's proceed. Anybody from Instagram? We over here on YouTube. Anybody on Facebook? We over here on YouTube. You get your chat, your comments will be seen. That's what I'm talking about. Just like this. Oh, you can't comment from Facebook. Okay, we learning. They say your comments on my side. They say the comments will not be visible when streaming to a Facebook profile, but from it say from Facebook. Yeah. Shout out to y'all. Life is great. We at a 10. We on 10. I love it. I love it. All right, my guy. We at a 1. We're gonna have to talk. We're gonna have to get you up, Andre. We got to get you up, Andre. Let's talk. And matter of fact, tune into this message because I've been at a 1 and I teeter-totter on that balance, right? And the message for today is acknowledge the small wins. It's so easy. I'm a high achiever, right? I'm all about action, but in this society, we become instantaneous. We want the result now. We see somebody else. You can see somebody else who is a millionaire, who's younger than you, seems like they're lacking the intelligence and experiences you are. You start to compare yourself and you're like, man, where am I? Right? I want to encourage everybody right here, right now. I know always improving the mind has the aura of you always need to be working on yourself, and you do, but it's not that you're going to continuously put unwarranted pressure on yourself. Here's what I want you to know. Don't forget yourself within your self-development. Don't forget yourself within your self-development. And that's why I say acknowledge the small wins. You know, they got all these quotes and phrases like focus on the journey and the joy is in the journey. Is the journey to where you're getting. that you get all of this momentum, you get the excitement, you get the motivation, you get the progress, you get the happiness. Happiness occurs when you're actively working towards something, no matter what it is. Happiness occurs when you're actively working towards something. If you're not working towards nothing, then you're not happy. You can't be happy. And here's the thing, even if you're working towards not having to do so much, when you get to a point where you're not having to do so much, you're happy. So working towards doing nothing can bring happiness, right? And then you enjoy that moment of not having to do anything and you get back to work. And it could be a repeated cycle, but focus on the journey, they say. But let's be honest, I'm gonna be transparent. I'm not a journey person. I'm a result person. And the result, I know the result happens through the process, of going through the process, going through the journey, right? I know that that happens. And it's easy to get distracted or lost when you're focusing on the end goal, right? How many people have ever been on a road trip or decided to use the GPS to get somewhere, and you like, oh, it'll be you could take this detour. It'll shave 5 to 7 minutes off of your drive. You take that detour, and you wind up adding 30 more minutes to it because it might be road work over there. That might not even be a complete road over there. That might be heavy traffic in the city, and you just got off the highway to cut through to try to get there quicker, right? My man says, there are no obstacles on the path. They are the journey. There is no strength without work. Don't fold, build in strength. Hello. Hello. So it's easy to get distracted when you focusing on the result, right? It's easy to get lost when you start comparing yourself to this instantaneous focusing on the result. It's easy to get lost. It makes you feel like no matter how much progress you make, you haven't won yet, huh? That start to make you feel incapable. That creates the self-doubt. This makes you impatient, huh? You start to feel unworthy. And if you feel those things about yourself, those low vibrational frequencies about yourself, it's going to affect everything and everyone around you. How you think about yourself is how you feel others will think about you. So if you doubting yourself, you think everyone around you is doubting you. If you're not loving yourself, how can someone else love you? You can't accept it. You don't believe it, right? You start to feel inadequate. Like it happens in relationships too. You feel inadequate, like you're working towards something, but it hasn't happened yet. So you focusing on the fact that it hasn't happened yet instead of you making progress towards what you're working towards. Now you start to feel like you can't, you aren't. You know what I'm saying? As a man, you start to feel like you're not providing, you're not a provider. You're incapable, you're inadequate. And it's not true. It's like, dog, have some patience. Acknowledge yourself within your self-development. Acknowledge yourself within your self-development. Every step you take, no matter forward, back, side, you make side steps every now and then. No matter what the step is, every step you take is leading you towards the destination, wherever you're headed, whatever the goal is, whatever it is needed for your self development. Every step is a step up. Every one, man. I say it's like I like to give video game references, right? And I brought this up because I deal with this too. Like I'm not Mr. Perfect up here. I could be considered Mr. Mindset, and that's basically off of the self awareness and the acknowledgement of what holds to be true. Like I know I'm an optimist because I know the yin and yang. I know the balance of life, you know? So I know I'm not always going to be on top of the mountain, but I enjoy walking up to the top of the mountain. You see what I'm saying? Even though I don't focus on the journey as much, I embrace the journey because the journey is going to get me to the end result and more because you develop the character for whatever the result is. I mean, let's be real. Whatever it is that you claim you want, if you were given it right here, right now, do you think you'll actually be prepared? Do you think you'll actually be prepared for what it is that you asked for? "Ah, I wish I had a million viewers." Could you handle that audience right here, right now? That demand, everybody's comments. Could you handle that? The woman of your dreams, the spouse of your dreams, right? Could you handle that person? Are you equipped to handle that person that you dream of? You got to keep developing yourself. Mm, it's not instantaneous. And I refer it to a video game, like a video game, because on a video game, you have to work your way up to the big boss, the showdown, right? Everything you do is to make you better. Within that video game, you start off, you might have, like a starter sword, a starter weapon, or whatever. And everything you do, from the teams you build, the moves you learn, the items you get, you know, the level ups. It's RPGs that I play, as you can tell. The level ups, right? The companions you gain, the places you go, the things you learn. By the end of the game, you're a whole different character. Everything you do within that game is to make you better and prepared for what you're fighting for. And here's another thing about mindset. You rarely feel as good and excited when you beat the game versus when you're advancing in the game. It's more exciting to play the game than to finish the game. Mm, another reason the joy is in the journey. If you are complete, if you are done with whatever, remember I said happiness happens when you're actively working towards something. So if you are finished working on something, now it's time to work on something else. Not to enjoy whatever it is that you just worked for and you got it. Enjoy that, but you still got work to do, boss. You still got work to do. That's why we always improving the mind, because we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Yet I know that there are things that I can work on. There are things that I have worked on and I can solidify that within myself. I no longer react this way, or I'm no longer triggered by that, or I know how to respond when I'm triggered by such and such. I can solidify that. But don't forget yourself within your self development. Andre, if you still here, my man, I would love to talk to you. You don't have to come on to the live, but if you're willing, you can comment. Let me know what's going on. And why you a one. I don't want nobody to be a one. Waking up this beautiful morning, and you could be going through whatever, right? You could just not want to go to work. Maybe you woke up too early, something woke you up. Maybe you stressing and couldn't even get a good sleep, right? It happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. Now, uh, when I say acknowledge the small wins, how do you do this? How do you not forget yourself within your self-development? I encourage you all to write down some things that you love about yourself, that you know about yourself, right? Write it down. Pen and pad. Pen and pad. This. Put the pen to the paper, man. Write it down. Because writing is an actionable step. Journaling it seems so small. And I think I touched on it here. I know I talk about it a lot, but write it down. Okay. And write down some things that you love about yourself. And as you continue to write down some things, whatever comes to mind. Just write about yourself. What you like, what you don't like, what you love. What are some truths about you? Some definites about you? Because there's some things about you that you don't need to change. Like, I'm blunt. I could be real transparent. I could, hey, forget the feelings. This is what it is. No, you messed up. No, you should. I'm confrontational. All of that. I'm aware that I don't have to do that in every situation, but that ain't something that I had to get rid of myself. No, I'm blunt. I'm transparent. I'm honest. I'm confrontational. Keep that. How I communicate, you needed improvement and continues to seek improvement, but those qualities about me ain't going nowhere. Those are definite. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to communicate. I'm going to be as transparent as I could possibly be. Right. I'm gonna keep those about me. I'm confrontational. I have to think like, does this require this type of confrontation? Right? Do I have to get in your face? More than likely not. But I can, hey, that was an issue. You know, I can confront it because I'm also like that with, facing fears. I'm confrontational. So I step up to it. Oh, that made me a little nervous. That's intimidating. Then it's exactly what I need to do. You know, not stupidly risky, like, oh, I'm gonna risk my life real quick just because I felt something. No, have some discernment. But yes, don't forget yourself within your self development. So I encourage you to write down some qualities about yourself, you know, list out some of the definites that don't need to change, right? They could use some improvement, maybe. That's your choice, but they don't need to change. For me, it's being confrontational and blunt and transparent. You know, I worked on and continue to work on improving communication, but I don't need to change those things. I learned that about myself. Learn about yourself. Like, study you. You are so fascinating. You are like so important. You're interesting, and you have the most research about you. All of your years of living, you've been with alongside you this whole time. What has been going on? Study that person. How does this person act? Are you bashful? You shy? Huh? You back down away from challenge? Have you pushed yourself recently? What have you tried new? Acknowledge yourself, man. Mr. Robert Utley says 80 years is a lifetime, but 80 summers. Let's value each one. Reward yourself daily, weekly, monthly, or seasonally, not next year. And that's exactly what I was getting. So I'm going to leave that comment up. Thank you, sir. Because how do you acknowledge the small wins? Reward yourself, even if it's just a pat on the back. When you acknowledge yourself, it boosts your confidence. It makes you realize that you're working and you're making progress. Instead of feeling incapable, you feel actually capable. You realize how capable you are by doing, by being in the action, right? It allows you to enjoy the moment. We talked about comparison in the beginning of this live and how comparison distracts you from acknowledging yourself and your small wins, right? Not everything has to be grand or extravagant or expensive. I give myself as an example. Check this out. I'm a gift giver. I love giving gifts. All right. My wife, it was recently our anniversary. And each year I felt like each year the gift has to outdo the last one. Wow. Why? This is why she's my woman. It's like, what do you mean? I got her an expensive perfume, right? And she appreciated it, she loved it, but she could have used the smaller size, right, for the space that she has, uh, to do other things. Like, we could have got that perfume and went out for the price that I paid for the big bottle, like, but it was me who felt like, "Nah, I got you a size smaller last year. I gotta go bigger every time." Right? That small sense of comparison, even to self, could be detrimental, right? And I was like, yo, you don't have to try to outdo everything. Just be in the moment. Just be present. Just do what your heart intends, right? Like, it don't have to have a large price tag for it to be as great. It don't even have to have a price tag. It don't have to cost you nothing. A lot of the most important things in life are free. you know, um, but that was towards self. And how does that tie in? Don't forget yourself within your self development, because that sense of comparison led me to start making different types of decisions that wasn't valuable to me or my wife. And then it started to make me feel incapable because we started coming up on you're gonna have the same dates, right? The next year you're gonna have an anniversary. The next year is gonna be a birthday. The next year is gonna be a holiday, right? And it's like every year we'd have been together for half my life, and I'm thinking like every year it has to be bigger and better. So now I'm to the point where, man, next year I need to buy her a house. I need to buy her own car, and it's like I ain't shying away from the capability, but at the same time, it's like that's an unrealistic expectation that she doesn't have. It's me who's pushing myself in that sense, and it's like, yo, that's not healthy, man. That's not healthy. Hey, for Nene, we over here on YouTube. That's not healthy. So don't forget yourself within your self development. Don't negatively compare yourself either. Figure out that balance, like if you are a giver, you're a generous person, and most of us are. It's our nature. If you are a generous person, uh, just make sure that the person that you're giving to appreciates it, and there's no comparison there. The comparison it starts happening when it becomes expectation. And let me tell you, anybody who starts expecting stops appreciating. So if there's no appreciation, there's no need to keep giving more and more and more, especially if it's a material or physical thing, right? Don't forget yourself within your self development. I give all of these experiences because these are things that I've dealt with, that I've done, right? My man said, reward yourself daily. If you know that you are actively working, right? And it don't have to be uh monetary. It don't have to be uh self-sabotage. Because I know a lot of people, like, I done worked all day, I could have a drink, and then that drink turns into a case or a bottle, and then that bottle turns into an addiction. We don't want that type of progress. Right? So how do you acknowledge your small wins? How do you not forget yourself within your self-development? You have to get a 10 toes stand firm on you. You have to know you at the core. And how do you get in touch with yourself? I'm telling you, write it down. Write down a list of things that you love about yourself, that you lack about yourself, that you want to improve in. And it's not from a low point of dislike of self. It's because of love of self that you want to improve. You get excited when it's like, oh, I do better with, oh, I got better at, or I'm not the same person. I don't respond that way. I don't need to fight all the time. And you become peaceful, at ease when you continue to develop yourself, right? So it's from a loving standpoint of improvement, not from, yo, I'm weak, I suck, I'm broke. You know what I mean? Mm-mm. Write it down. Reward yourself, whether it's daily, weekly, huh? And how you reward yourself, be aware of that too. All of this is within your self development. I reward myself with a workout now. It started off, I don't like my body. I don't like what's happening. Okay. Now, after I've gotten results and see how my body is, I reward myself with a workout. I tell myself I'm feeding my body, I'm strengthening. Huh? Do you know how capable I am now because of that mentality, that mindset shift, right? And we talked about it on the last live. It's actually one of the characteristics of a healthy mindset is being grateful, having some gratitude, man. How do you know, don't forget yourself within your self-development. Be grateful for yourself. Show gratitude to you. Thank God. Thank God for you. If it ain't taking you out, huh? They say what don't kill you make you stronger. But that's only if you let it. And you let it by what you learn from it. Another thing you can do, I know a lot of people shy away from this in this day and age because we want to be so secluded and private and isolated and fearful of what somebody else might think. But another thing you can do is share your wins. Celebrate yourself, celebrate when you do something, reach out, call somebody, tell somebody, yo, I completed or I did or you know, like you jumped off the edge and you finally got the LLC. Let somebody know. Give someone the opportunity to congratulate you. You could do that as well, right? I mean, we make it, life is actually quite simple. We just complicate it. We complicate our own lives, and it's actually quite simple. Some things you just got to keep at the forefront. Some things you just got to keep at the forefront. And you should be one of those things. You should prioritize yourself. You should prioritize loving yourself. And if you come from a loving standpoint of self, everything you do, everything you touch will come from love. And love grows. Love is contagious. Love builds. Love is God. Love is universal. And it starts at home. And once you do these, you'll love to level up. It's hard not to see yourself when you're loving yourself. So if you're at a 1 today, we did a mental health check, 1 through 10, how you feeling? 10 being great, 1 being not so great. If you're at a 1 today or under 5, it's time to give yourself some more gratitude. It's time to give yourself some more love. It's time to acknowledge your small wins. Don't forget yourself within your self-development. Don't forget yourself within your self-development. Appreciate you for all that you've been through. You're not done yet. Obviously, you here this morning, ain't it? You're not done yet. You got a little bit more ways to go, boss. Just keep going and love yourself along the way for all that you've done. You can't even recalibrate all that you've done. Write it down. I'm telling you, write it down because then you can go back and look at it. When I write things down, when I write out my accomplishments, whether daily, weekly, monthly, annually, whatever, when I write it down, I go back and look and I'd be like, I did do that. It's so easy to forget the good. It's so easy to forget the good. Like, I did do that. I did accomplish that. Once it's a part of your attributes, you know, it just becomes the norm. I appreciate others. Listen to other people. I'm pretty sure there are people around you who are complimenting you. What are they complimenting you on? Other people acknowledge you. Sometimes more than you acknowledge yourself. Often more than you acknowledge yourself. Listen to the people then. What are they saying? Man, I saw how you handled that situation. Man, I love how what's the compliment? Keep that about you. Keep that about you, man. That's my message for this good old Monday morning. It's Mindset Monday. Anybody who's tapping in from Facebook, Instagram, whatever, come over to the YouTube side. We're gonna be going live every Monday, right? It's a lot of content, and we all about improving the mind. So I don't want to see nobody at a one. We get there. I've been there. Trust and believe. I've been to zero. Stop it, ugly. I've been a minus one. But you got to build yourself back up because life be lifing, but it's beautiful, man. That struggle builds character. That struggle is there for you to develop. It's not a problem. Paul DeBerry says, life is not happening to you, it's happening for you. Remember what you prayed for. Now you got to go through what you got to go through in order to be able to be the person who can maintain, who can obtain and maintain what it is that you pray for. If you was to give me what I prayed for when I prayed for it, I would have lost it. I probably would have never picked it up because I wasn't ready for it. But when I got it, thank you. I can handle it now. I'm stronger now. I'm stronger willed. I'm stronger minded. Right? It's all within you, man. Don't forget yourself along your self development journey. Acknowledge your small wins. This keeps your confidence, boosts your confidence, allows you to believe that you are capable, which is confidence, that you are adequate, that you are doing, and you're working towards something, which creates happiness. Okay? Anybody that's hearing this message right now, you want to reach out to me, I'm available. Just comment, DM, email, whatever. Okay? I will respond. I will respond. Much love to everybody out there. Let's have a beautiful Monday. Let's see. No, we're moving a little slow. Let's have a beautiful Monday. And we're going to start this week off right. Again, end it out by saying happy birthday to all my Leos. It's Leo season, and I'm one of them. Happy birthday to me coming up this week. I'll let you guess the day. Stay tuned. I'm out, AP.